I thought, well, I can get to Des Moines, I'm getting closer to home, and so I went and cashed my my ticket, so I got my $21 back, and, we leave, and of course, we get out on the road and it's a little slippery. Them two guys didn't have any idea what was going on as far as on ice, so I had to drive all the way to Des Moines to get there. Well, then I get there, and I got a bus ticket.
Oh.
So then I'm getting cheaper here.
Yeah,
Now I got
yeah.
a bus ticket. But when I got to the depot, after getting out of the bus, I didn't have enough money to pay for a cab to come, and I got all my stuff lugging.
Yeah.
So I went to one of the cab drivers there, and I explained to him the situation, and I says, I'm sure that if I could get home, I can get you enough money. So finally, I get home. So that's right, that was a surprise. My packages that they had for me were already in the mail, going down, but that it wasn't a planned surprise. It was a surprise that
A surprise to everybody.
yeah, right. So then they were on whatever that furlough was, and then I don't remember how I got back, how I went, whether I flew or took the train back.
Yeah.
But then, like you say, I suppose you got so many people, but here we go back all the way to Kelly Field. I'm there we got Christmas, and I was discharged in February. Now, they shipped us all the way to Kelly, then they send us all the way back to Wisconsin to get discharged. I mean, and I was just not even 200 miles away from where I get
Right,
discharged.
right. Do you
But-
remember when you went home? Do you remember when you went in the house on Christmas with your mom and dad and sis?
No, I got there in the morning,
Oh,
and I rapped on the door, and Ma came to the door still in the bathroom. So that was kind of a
oh,
funny deal, because I know she said, well, I knew that Dad always went to confession, and it was at Christmas time. So she told me that I should go there and stand in line.
oh,
So that surprised him.
oh, yeah.
But anyhow, everybody was so shook because I didn't have no presents.
Right.
Mine was, I don't know where.
In the mail.
Yeah. Or at some place where I was last.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say once when we were talking about Christmas that when you were a kid, there wasn't a whole bunch of presents?
Oh, no. You never got, remember that black Thunderbird sweater with the red eagles across the front? I don't know if you remember that or not, but at that time, they had ski sweaters that had skiers on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
remember.
I wanted one of them, and they couldn't find one, so that's how come I got. But that was the only present I got. You didn't get a
Whole bunch.
no, and when you did get something, like I got a pair of hardtop hockey skates. I just said, deal. Well, they were too big because I was supposed to grow into them. I never did grow into them. They were too big the day I threw them away. Because like my foot now is 7 or 7.5 shoe, and that skate was 6. I mean, I should say was 8 something when I got it.
Yeah.
So you never bought something that's going to only get you by this year.
Yeah.
You bought stuff that, you know,
Yeah.
and you stop to think some of the things, like shoes, for instance. I remember, nowadays you never wear out shoes, but I remember having shoes that we put cardboard inside the shoe because I had a hole in the sole,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And now, well, they don't even hardly man a shoemaker no more.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But how things just,
Did you stay living at home until you got married?
yeah. Yeah.
So you were living, well, what year did Gladys and your dad get married?
When?
Yeah. Well, I think they got married in 1950. You all three did, right?
What, Roseanne and,
I mean, Mom and Dad got married in 1950, you and Auntie Betty. But when did your dad marry Gladys?
I don't know. Well, he must have married her pretty close, because that's where a lot of trouble came in too, is that we were having that house built and gave our notice for rent apartment, and we were supposed to be in there the 1st of December. Well, there was material shortage and stuff, and they couldn't get it done, so we went and lived with Dad and Gladys for, well, the month of December. And of course, you take Betty and a new baby. Am I going here right? Yeah, because the first year we were in the apartment, yeah.
Okay.
With the new baby and with Gladys and Dad, there became a lot of friction. And I think that's what happened with your mom and
Yeah.
that, because they lived there for a little bit too.
Oh.
And there was that friction, and I always got along with Gladys. I never had no problems or anything, but I'm sure she was a nurse, and she's how old she is when they get married. She's set in her ways, and then all of a sudden, we come there in the house, and all of a sudden your mother, and I'm sure, well, I felt the same way about her, about them getting married, you know what I mean? We got that all built up ahead of time.
Yeah.
And the only thing I feel bad about it is that I didn't do anything that I should have done for John. I should have been more of a half brother to him, because he didn't, you know, especially after Dad died and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Gladys still contact when she wanted the house painted. She got a hold of me, and when she had that car accident, hit the bus, she was going to quit driving. She called me up to handle what to do with the car and stuff, and she finally said, well, you just handle it and you can have the car, just handle all the paperwork and stuff. So I always got along with her to that point, but because maybe I looked at her side of it, is that she was, I don't know if I would want to be on the outs with the two Bettys.
Right. Can you imagine?